My guest today is Jennifer Fowkes, who is the new director of the Montauk Chamber of Commerce. And she's born, she's not born here, but she's raised here, went to East Hampton High School, and now she's got a key position in the town. And I thought it would be nice to have a conversation with you. Just to describe a little bit what your day-to-day job is at the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you so much, Dan, for having me on. Well, I just started here, so the last 10 days have been me jumping in with both feet to try and get a handle on what's going on here. But my job will entail planning events and executing them, selling memberships to the chamber, local businesses, and all around Montauk, East Hampton, who want to be part of the Chamber of Commerce. Advocacy is turning out to be a big part of the job. So the chamber holds seats on the Montauk Citizens Advisory Committee, a couple of subcommittees on the town board having to do with wastewater management, beach revitalization, business planning, that kind of stuff. We're also a big part of the Discover Long Island, which is kind of like, it's the former Long Island Visitors Bureau, I think, and now it's called Discover Long Island. So they're a key partner with Montauk and other chambers around Long Island, getting the word out to visitors to come visit us. And then, part of my job is also, greeting visitors as they come into the office and ask questions about where to have lunch.
One time I remember when I lived in Montauk, I was standing in front of White's drugstore, which my dad owned at the time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, and some tourists pulled up and they said, "How far is the lighthouse and which way?" And I told them which way, and I said, "You just go around this, it's up about 6 miles up further on, and I hope you enjoy it." And they showed up facing the other way about 20 minutes later, and I went to talk to them, and it turned out they had gone around the circle at the lighthouse, not noticed the lighthouse.
You're kidding.
Came back to town where they were now stuck again, and didn't know how they'd wound up back here without seeing a lighthouse. And
that's crazy.
In those early days, it was all about 2-week vacations and fishermen.
Yeah.
And how has it changed since you first got here? How old were you when you first came out here?
I was 10 years old when my family moved out here. And so it was 1978. And it really was, Montauk was the end of the world back in 1978. Going out to Montauk, if you came out here during the winter, there was, nothing, except maybe Pizza Village open every once in a while, but really there was nothing happening out here. And now it's really more of a year-round community. It's always been a year-round community, but it's also more viable for businesses to stay open year-round. The year-round population has increased, and the visitors still want to see Montauk, whether it's February or the middle of July. It's become such a destination. And that really enables all of the businesses out here to keep their doors open all year and serve the locals.
What do you think is the attraction of Montauk that would bring in people out in the year round rather than just in the summer?
So I think it's a combination of things. I think there's been a lot of publicity and press around Montauk over the past few years. It's part of the Hamptons, but it's not really part of the Hamptons. It's become very popular amongst a younger generation of people who come out here to celebrate different events in their lives. I think there are a lot of bachelorette parties that happen out here. There's a lot of celebrating goes on in Montauk, and I think that a lot of the businesses that cater to the younger crowd have done extremely well and have made it popular. I mean, the advent of social media means that if someone sees something on Instagram or on TikTok, they also want to go to that place, and they want to have their picture taken there, and they want to share it on their social media. So I think it's that, and it's also the fact that it's close to New York City. it's got a little bit of everything. It's got beaches, but it's also got the fishing village. It's got the lighthouse. So there's history. We've got the oldest cattle farm in the United States is right here in Montauk. So there's a little bit of everything. There's something for everyone in Montauk.
Is back at the beginning of the chamber, it was all about call this number and you can make a reservation at a motel to stay at. Is that still what's going on pretty much?
We don't make the reservations for people anymore. It's just gotten to be there are too many choices, but we do we keep up with what's open, who has vacancies, how much it costs, whether they are pet friendly, whether they have ocean view rooms or bay view rooms, that kind of stuff. So the staff here at the chamber is so well informed about everything that's going on in Montauk. So you call, they can answer any questions. You can come in off the street. They can answer any questions for you. They're really a pretty incredible bunch of people who know Montauk inside and out. I'm learning from them.
What are the events that happen in the summer, and have they been happening during the COVID period?
So 2020, not so much, but last year we did bring back the farmers market, which is a wildly popular ongoing event. We're bringing that back starting June 9th of this year. We'll have about 45 vendors, which is really exciting. It happens on Thursdays starting June 9th, and it runs through November 19th. In September, it switches to Fridays. Once the East Hampton Farmers Market on Fridays closes down, the Montauk one switches from Thursdays to Fridays. So we've got that coming back, which is hugely successful. And in fact, because of the farmers market last year, we were able to just present the Montauk Food Pantry with a nice big check of $15,000 to keep their efforts going over the winter, which is really nice. We've also got, this coming weekend, you're not going to be here, but for all those who have kids under 10, we have the egg extravaganza. It's an Easter egg hunt and games. It's kind of part field day, part Easter egg hunt for kids 10 and under to come and celebrate right on the green, right across from the chamber offices. We'll have the Easter bunny there. There'll be prizes. It's going to be a ton of fun. We've also got the concerts on the green coming back starting June 27th on Mondays and running through Tumbleweed Tuesday. And I also believe there'll be concerts at the Fall Fest, which is Columbus Day weekend. And of course, fireworks.
On the 4th of July, I hope.
4th of July, yeah.
Umbrella Beach.
Yes, on the beach. And then we also we're going to be hosting this is an event that's, I don't know if it happened last year, but the fireworks cruise. So there'll be a Viking fleet boat leaving from Montauk Harbor, sailing around the point, watching the fireworks and sailing back.
What about some of the events that I'm familiar with from past years are the Blessing of the Fleet?
Blessing of the Fleet, I believe, is Sunday, June 12th.
That's where everybody gets aboard a boat, and there's like 100 boats, and they pass by
the harbor, and Father blesses them. Yep, it's amazing.
Father, the priest and minister and the rabbi bless the boats, and they sail out into the harbor, and then they come back.
And that's a great day too. So that's such a fun event. And it really, things like that bring the community together and also really tie in the past with the present and the future. So it's all of the old Montauk fishing families and, generations of them that show up for this. And it's just such a great event.
Are there any new places in Montauk for the public this year that wasn't here last year or the year before, or like something got sold and it's going to be fixed up or changed?
There are so many changes happening. So I'm not up to speed on all of them, but I do know that Bird on the Roof, which is a restaurant down here, was bought by one of our board members, actually, Leo Daunt, who owns Daunt's Albatross Inn, bought Bird on the Roof. So they're renovating that, and that's going to be open for the season. I just spoke to a gentleman who works for a company that bought the former Gaviola's Market, and they're turning it into another, hopefully like a year-round marketplace down by the harbor. And there's a whole host of them, but those are the two that I can think of off the top of my head.
Why do you love Montauk?
Why do I love Montauk? I love Montauk because there is so much to do out here. So for me, Montauk has always been an escape. My parents used to bring us out here to Gosman's on everybody's birthday. My birthday happens to be in June. So, my birthday tradition from the time I was 10 has been getting a lobster at Gosman's Dock. Raising my kids out here, we love hiking. I use the trails in Montauk, 4 or 5 times a week during the spring and summer, because I just love walking and running through the trails. I love the beaches out here because it's like vacation. It's a little bit of an escape for to come out here, sit on the beach all day, go have a drink and a bite to eat on the harbor. Like it's like paradise out here. I love Montauk.
Well, it's good that you're the director of the Montauk Chamber of Commerce.
It's funny because I guess it was maybe during COVID, my daughter and I were driving someplace, and she said, "Mom," she was 18 at the time, if you could retire anywhere, where would you be? Where would you go? And I lived in Amagansett at the time. And I said, I want to retire to Montauk. And she said, out of all the places in the world, you want to retire 10 miles away from where you actually live? I said, yeah, I want one of those little houses on Navy Beach, little stone house where I can overlook overlook the bay. And that's really all I want. So when this job opportunity came up, she just said, "Mom, this place is perfect for you." So, and I'm really lucky to have.
Are you living in Montauk?
I live in East Hampton.
And so you're out here every day.
Out here every day in the chamber office. It's a nice commute. I mean, what better commute, what better entrance to your working town than, coming down that hill, overlooking that hotel, and, seeing the ocean in the morning every time you drive into work.
There's some plans to take the telephone poles there down, I believe.
Yes, beautification. Yes, the telephone poles are coming down finally. So that vista, that money shot, if for lack of a better word, will be even more beautiful.
And is there any improvements in the downtown itself?
So we're actually talking with one of the town council, one of the town board members, David Leese, and I have a meeting set up hopefully for next week to talk about doing a little work to the green across the street in the gazebo. And then there's ongoing stuff happening with the town as far as just fixing up the roads and the sidewalks. East Hampton town is very good about keeping things up.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Yeah.
There've been, over the years, there have been two or three attempts to incorporate Montauk, which
yes,
I think that motivated East Hampton town to say, no, we are going to be really active out there.
I think so too. And I think that's about when the police substation was built out here, and the highway department has a substation out here, so that people out here are not forgotten. This is a huge part of East Hampton town, and it's a huge revenue stream for East Hampton town. So they do need to take care of us out here.
Is there anything done to celebrate Teddy Roosevelt's time out in Montauk?
There's nothing specific planned at this exact second, but there's so much history with Teddy Roosevelt out here. Rough Riders Landing, Third House. I should look into that. I love Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, you remember there used to be a rodeo almost, or not a rodeo.
Yeah,
it was a horse show.
It was a horse show, and I think it reenacted like the ride up. Yeah, the Rough Riders.
It was that was from the barn, not the Indian field. It was that you could go to the barn. They put you in a coach with Shank Dickinson.
Yes.
5 others, and they drive out, and they had local people dressed up as Indians, and
I remember that.
Apollo
My
Ran-
grandparents lived next door to Mr. Dickinson when I was younger, and I remember it all very vividly.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for coming in on the show. I'm talking to Jennifer Fowkes of the Montauk Chamber of Commerce, and
Thank you, Dan.
it's good to have you.
Thanks. It's so great to be on your show. And please, anytime you're out in Montauk, stop by and see me.
I certainly shall.